Hello teacher, my name is Nga and today I will talk about my midterm text. I would like to talk about crop and full frame cameras. So first of all, we have to know what is full frame and what is crop sensor. So the term full frame refers to the sensor size that has the same dimension as the 35mm frame format. Why is the 35mm format considered to be the standard of a full frame? Well, the 35mm film format has been the standard in film goes due to its balance in cost and image quality and has done everything. So let's move on to the crop sensor. If a full frame sensor is 36 plus like 24mm, then a crop sensor is smaller. Okay, its manufacturer has a different crop factor or naming system. The common type of crop sensor include APS-C and macro 4x3 systems. The crop sensor was developed as full frame sensor were incredibly expensive to produce. So let's find out what is different between them.
This is the photo that shows the full frame is different from the crop. The most visible difference between full frame and crop sensor is their field of view. In fact, the term crop implies just exactly that. The smaller sensor's field of view is a crop of the full frame. This means that if a full frame like Nikon D800 and a crop Nikon D7100 take the same photo from the same distance with the same length and point of view, the D7100 will capture the entire field of view than the D800. So this is the example. I show you the picture got full frame and crop sensor. You can see the full frame got the whole thing and the crop sensor is smaller field of view like this.
So how does smaller sensor affect your image? Using a smaller sensor has interacting effect on things like depth of field and apparent focal length of lenses. But it's not a subjective measure of how good or bad the camera is. Think of it like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet with different size plates. Shooting with a full frame camera is like taking a normal size of plate to have the surface area. So wherever using the crop sensor camera is like using the flat that is about 30% smaller. Both will get the job done and both are great for the different type of people.
Okay, there are several advantages and disadvantages to each sensor size. They are going to avoid the technical detail and just give you the most practical and general information. Talk about full frame advantage. Generally, the full frame sensor can provide the broader dynamic range and better low light high ISO performance, yielding a higher quality image than a crop sensor. Full frame sensors are also preferred when it comes to a categorical photography due to having a wider angle, which is useful with cheap lens. Finally, a full frame DSLR will have several depth of field than a crop sensor, which can be the beneficial advantage. Then shooting the same effective focal length using the same aperture setting and shooting from the exact same angle or distance to the subject, the full frame camera will have a shallower depth of view than a crop sensor camera. This is about full frame advantage. What about crop sensor advantage? On the other side, while a crop sensor DSLR doesn't provide the same level of image quality as the full frame It does offer major advantage when it comes to cost. It can also be the effective of telephoto photography for the extra rich gained from the crop center multiplier. For example, can be very useful when shooting sport, wildlife, or other types of photojournalism. Just imagine that on a Canon crop frame body such as 70 or 70 to 200 millimeter lens is effectively a 112 and 320 millimeter lens. Okay, let me also clarify that this is simple a benefit. It doesn't mean that you should use a crop sensor when you're shooting this type of photography. This is going to depend on your intent, used, budget, and so forth. So, though on the budget, which I think is most of us, the additional focal length and low cost of the crop sensor are great advantage. But for a professional, you will still get the best overall quality by having a full frame paired with a longer telephoto lens. Okay, then look at this picture. For example, I shot the photo here above at 200mm with my full frame camera, but it could have been quite different if I shot it on my crop sensor camera. A 200mm lens behaves like a 300mm lens when mounted on a APS-C camera. That means I could have had to move much farther back to get the same composition, and therefore could have significantly increased the depth of field. The background would not have been as blurry, and the figure behind the girl here could have been more in focus as well. So you see, the first one is the crop, and the second one is the full frame photo. So you can see the full frame got the more blue for blur for the background behind the girl, and the small attack it's got the higher quality of photo.
Okay, let's talk about implication, how it affects you. So what are the practical implications of this phenomenon? It means that if you are interested in landscape, architecture, or other shots that are suited for the wider focal length, a full frame camera will generally be a good choice. However, if you like to shot wildlife or sport, a crop sensor camera can give you a lot of extra reach with your lens and effectively transform a 300mm telephoto lens into a 415mm by bird watching or scoring powerhouse. So, in conclusion, a full frame sensor DSLR and a crop sensor DSLR have their own advantage and disadvantage. While a full frame DSLR provides a bit better overall quality, both have their uses. The important factor is the type of photography that you shot and the budget that you have for your photography. And the final word, like after examining various differences between the crop and full frame cameras, I hope it's clear that neither one is inherently better. Both are uniquely suited for the different type of photographic text.